Okay, I just got back. I got a bunch of stuff. Got some hone tooling, flare mandrel, more hone tooling, spinning tools, some repair stuff, some spread-on balls, more sunning, some big balls, furniture. We'll go through this all kind of in deeper. These are pretty awesome though. These draw rings. This is dent machine tooling. So I'm gonna start getting this stuff unloaded all by myself, my lonesome. So it's the next day, it's like the 27th or something? I don't know. Colin, it's Thursday. I got back, I got everything unloaded. It's not a freeze machine, but it's a dent machine-ish thing. It has the down feed, which is nice. And a bunch of tools. A lot of the tools are furries. Power discs and rollers, all that fun stuff. Got some sousaphone rods. If anyone wants these, call me. I got 3 of them, I think. I got a lacquer thing, which I don't really need. Bunch of miscellaneous dent balls, which is awesome. The big ones are sick. Dent rods, clamps, vices, shrinkers, mouthpiece pullers, really good stuff. Yeah, some over here too. It's just full of different dent balls. I think mostly the, like these are like the furries A and B set. More dent balls on a thing, they're kind of rusty. I got the Votaw spring-loaded trumpet bell tail tool. We'll see how we like it. I'm guessing I won't like it that much. 2 furries trumpet bell mandrels. Coolest thing is that draw plate. Tuba-sized draw plate right there. Pretty sick. Looks like it's stainless. No, not as rusty as everything else. But I'm excited about the dent machine. I've needed one for a long time. And by I mean Adam, because I don't want to do repair anymore. We don't have the power disc for trumpet. We have the power disc. This one works really well for French horns with that flat roller. So I gotta get the one for trumpets.
Got that nice bucket of evapor rust there that's empty.
I mean, I have some, but not enough for a horn mandrel.
Could be doing all this work for us.
I have not been impressed with it on the mandrels that I've used it on.
Welcome back to the Miles O'Malley Brass Making YouTube channel.
We should get ice cream tonight.
What are we doing, Miles?
Feels like a night for ice cream.
What are we doing, Miles?
Doesn't it feel like a night for ice cream? We could probably get Andrew to get ice cream with us.
No shit, it's Andrew.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
What are we doing, Miles?
So a customer of mine sent me a Piccolo bell mandrel because he wants the Piccolo bells. I've never made Piccolo bells before. Neither has Ian, believe it or not. What we're working on now is we are making the pattern, which I've never made a Piccolo bell pattern, but I'm guessing it's a lot like other bell patterns. So kind of walk you through that process through the lens of Ian, who's staring around like something just attacked him. So we have to kind of figure out a pattern, and it's going to be pretty easy for a piccolo. So this is a pretty good example of how to do it for any instrument. But
in the future, when things go south, just flash back to this
Yes.
point when Miles said it was going to be easy.
That's a good point. So I could probably say his name.
Best of
His name's
friends.
Charlie Davis. He's a customer of mine. He wants some piccolo bells, and I told him I'd hook him up. We got our piece of brass here to make a pattern out of. And as you can see, our bell mandrel is not very long. When you're making a pattern,
It's
you
in genetics, don't worry
always start from the small end, okay? The big end is kind of the last part, and we'll get there, and I'll explain that. We basically have 12 inches of straight taper-ish, about 11 inches, but we're gonna call it 12, and we'll estimate that there. So you can see it, we're gonna take points at the small end, which is 0, and then 4 inches in, which is about there, which we'll mark. 8 inches in, which is about there, 12 inches in, which is there. So we're gonna take those 4 points in diameters, calculate the circumferences, and then we will scribe out our pattern on here for the tail up to 12 inches, and then there's about probably another 2 inches of pattern to add on to there. I'll show you kind of how to guesstimate flare. The tail's a pretty exact science because it's just tapered part. But the flare, there's a lot of ways to go about it, and there's a lot of different results you can get, and they're all valid, but there's ways that I like to do it. So
Pi times the diameter.
yes.
Man, I've been holding that in for a while.
We are gonna do math off camera, not to humiliate ourselves when
What?
we pull up my
I got
calculator.
a calculator.
And we'll come back when we have our math done, and then we'll go over it.
Miles didn't continue explaining. If he did finish explaining this in that session of recording, he didn't send me that footage, and he's not responding to me. So I'm going to try and explain what he was talking about here with my very limited knowledge, but I think I understand where he was going. And 12, what he was talking about, he would go along the mandrel and measure the 4-inch, 8-inch, and 12-inch marks. So if you measure at the 4-inch mark, let's say it's 0.134. Then we take the equation that Ian said, pi times the diameter, if this is the diameter. So then that ends up being 0.134 times 3.141592653. I don't know where the fucking pi button is, but if this is our diameter, our circumference of this area is going to end up being, let's just say 0.421. Okay, that's your circumference. So then you would measure on your pattern that distance. Let's just say that's way more than it. At 4 inches, it'll be blank. And then you just keep doing that. So then at 8 inches, let's say it's like 0.923. That's your measurement there, times 3.141592653. You've got your diameter, the measurement you took with the calipers. You multiply that by pi, ends up being 2.8 2.9, whatever, 2.9 blank. And so you would do it at different points, and then your 12 ends up being something like that. Then you can make a pattern with that information. I hope I'm not completely wrong. And then I'm sure, depending on radius you want the bell, if it's a 4-inch bell, you take that same measurement, multiply it by pi, and then that's the shape of that fucking thing is the length. So Miles didn't send me the video, so this is what I'm pretty sure he was gonna do.
Ian, show everyone your handiwork.
I'm learning, okay?
So I'm gonna show to Ian how cool I am, and I'm gonna fix that giant hole. I wanna make it clear, that sucks. This would go right in the scrap bin.
It's not making the cut.
It's gonna be
It's
fun.
11:30 on a Friday night.
Not too shabby. Isn't that nuts?